now I will show you, here are your RAM spots. Here's your network card. Here's your CPU and GPU, most likely. And here's your fan. I recommend taking a can of air. Oh, I forgot. I recommend having this handy when you are doing this, because it will be dusty. I found some hairs in it too. Just blow out the dust. It'll be dust, and definitely be dust in the fan. It'll be dust throughout your laptop. So I recommend having a can of air around. And now I will show you how to take the fan and heatsink assembly totally off. So you're gonna need a screwdriver. These are spring screws, so they don't come out. They just put tension down on the CPU. I'll put that one on tight, I guess. And so I recommend going corner to corner and putting pressure down on the CPU, not too much to do anything to the motherboard, but enough that you don't break anything. Oop, hit that. Now you should be able to just take off the whole heatsink unit. So here's your thermal paste, there's your thermal paste. Put that off to the side for 1 second. Now, if you were going to replace the processor itself, there's one screw right there. And you probably won't be able to see it, but I'll go close up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a lock right there and an unlock little symbol right there. So just take a flathead screwdriver to unlock it, twist it all the way, and you'll hear a little click, and then you should be able to just take out the processor. This is a CPU. Do not touch the bottom pins. You don't want to touch them. You don't want to get grease from your hands, anything on here, and especially do not want to bend the pins on the bottom. And there is the GPU. I'm guessing that's the GPU and that's the CPU. This is just a heat spreader on top. So I recommend keeping it in the socket. And one key thing, if you do take it out, there is a triangle in this corner and there is a triangle in the plastic in this corner. Match up those triangles, because that's the way it places in. You should be able to just plop it on and it should sink in. Now, don't put any pressure on it, just screw it back in. You will see it move that way a little bit. That's just locking it in, so now you can't take it out. Do not try to pry it up, because you will damage it. Unscrew the screw and you will just be able to lift with your hands. It's that simple. Now, to take off the thermal paste, step one is the remover. So you're going to take this. Since it is so small, I'm doing it 1 drop per heat spread. Take your paper towel. If you want to use a cloth, it's probably better to use one. But paper towel works just as fine. You're going to want to clean off the heat spreader, get that factory, not very good thermal paste, get that off. So like I said, it's not very good. Clean it off, and then I'm going to put the cap back on so it doesn't spill everywhere. Take number 2, step 2, the purifier. Just a nice little drop. Nice little drop. Take the other side of the paper towel, and then just, I'd say, dab it once, and then like move it around. So you purify this. That's purifies in just cleaning it even more, taking all of the residue from the old thermal paste off. Next, you'll take your new thermal paste, take off the cap, and with this, there's not a big heat spreader, so do not put a lot on. I want to put thermal paste on here and on here. Now, some people will recommend that you spread it around. I recommend you spread it around just a little bit. You should probably use like your finger in like a bag or something, but using the tip of this will probably be fine. Nothing wrong with it. Just get thermal paste all over the heat spreader, and either Intel or HP, smartly enough, they put paper on top, so it protects all the other components on top of the processor from getting thermal paste and stuff on it. So that's always nice to have. So I recommend just not taking out the paper. Now you can clean off this part, because you don't want old thermal paste on here either. So I'm just going to quickly pause the video, take this off, and then I will start the reassembly process. Okay, so once you have this all cleaned off, all you have to do is place it back, and right here, this is how you know the fan goes here. That's just a protective shield. So you put this back, you plop it on, line up the holes of the screws, of these screws, to where they go on the motherboard, and you're just going to tighten those back up. So again, I recommend going in a diagonal fashion. Don't tighten them all the way to start off. Tighten them enough for it to stay on. So once you get all the screws in, then you can tighten them, because you want equal amounts of pressure on all ends, not a lot of pressure on one end compared to another side. So tighten them all. They will all stop. Don't tighten them as hard as you can. Just tighten them until it stops, so it stays on properly but not too tight. Then once you're done with that, you flip it right back over and you place it right inside of where it went before, making sure to angle it so you can get it in. Moving these wires out of the way. I recommend putting this wire back in so you don't forget, and it's nice to put the wires in right away, because right there, as you saw, this was stuck under the motherboard. It makes it easier for you to know if one wire is under it and if it's not. So I recommend just putting them in right now. Just makes it easier in the long run. Next, don't forget to tighten down this screw in the corner. Again, tighten it until it stops, don't over tighten it. And then just reconnect all your wires. Okay, so without knowing it, my camera memory card ran out of space, so I'm pretty sure this is where I left off. So I'm sorry for that. So as I was saying, reconnect all the wires. So reconnect that one. I don't know which wires I showed putting in, but make sure to put in fan wire, the speaker wire, and don't put in this wire yet, because there is, put it kind of under there, but enough so you can take it back out. Don't put that one in yet, because you need to put a screw right underneath it. So now take it out so it doesn't get stuck under there. There we go. Gonna just screw that one in, and then plop the ribbon wire right back in here. Okay, there we go. Plop that down, give it a little small tug, making sure it's in. Don't pull it out. And then don't forget this one. It's been pretty easy. Just take it and just plop it on. Give it a little tug, just make sure it's in. Not too hard though. Now you can start putting in the rest of the screws. So remember, they go right here, this hole, and then the closest hole next to it, this one. It goes the second screw, or the last, well, not the last screw, because there's still the smallest screw right here that goes to the speaker. So you may need a smaller screwdriver for that. I do. Just depends on which screwdriver you've been using the whole time. Just screw that in so it's all set. Tuck this wire down a little bit so it doesn't get in the way in the future. There's a little channel for it inside the speaker groove. Then you're all set with this part. I did say, I don't know if I did, screw down this, and now we can start putting the screen back on. So first, you are going to want to take the wires and shove them down over here. So no, just move them off to the side right now. Just be easier that way. So plop that into place. Don't forget to put the video wire in, because if you put this together and your screen's not working, that's most likely the problem right there. the video wire was not reattached. So then you will take your 4 screws that you put to the side for your monitor, and you just screw them in. This wants to go in the hole, which it does not. What the hell? I don't have it lined up properly. Make sure your holes are lined up properly. This is kind of hard because there are screws that are kind of tough to get. So now about gun. It's where tweezers are nice and handy. I do kind of recommend going side by side, but does not matter. Okay, let's see if I can just plop this into the hole, which I had done. Plop that one in, screw it on, so it's all set. Then you're going to screw in the other side. I hope I'm not in the way, because I can't look at the screen and screw and do all this at the same time. Son of a bitch. Like I said, guys, this is why tweezers are nice and handy. If you do drop a screw, it's so much easier to get it back. There we go. I'm sorry, you guys probably can't see most of this, but so really the only way I can show you. I can just show you where the screws go. You'll be able to easily see them if you're doing this yourself, but it's just tough doing it from an angle and not straight on, and looking on from the camera is not the easiest. Okay, let's try to get this one in. Stop screwing up. So it's best to work on a light surface. So if you do drop a screw, I'm just going to do this with my hands. It's easier to find. So once you finally, oh, come on, there we go. Once you finally get everything all screwed in, you can take these wires, put them under here. There should be a hole, or there is a hole underneath the motherboard over here that they go through. You'll be able to see them come through the bottom. This is where they go for the network card, and there's no way I could show this on camera. You'll be able to find it. It's not the biggest hole, but it makes it through. There we go. Pull those through, and they do go in this little slot up above here. Whether you want to put them there or not is up to you. I'm just gonna put them there because it's where they're supposed to go. Alright, now what we do now is we go and we get the bezel. We put this back on. So we get the bezel. Basically, you might want to clean this off because there's crap all over it. You're just gonna plop this right back on. Make sure no wires are underneath anything. You're just gonna go around the edges and push down. Here, all of them click into place. That's basically how you put the bezel on. You just gotta press down and it'll connect. Now, I found that this wire right here is very hard to get in and out of its proper place, as I put it in perfectly the first time. It can be kind of tricky though. So just replace all the ribbon wires. Replace them all. Secure them into place. Put the clamps down, and you're all set. Then you will take, okay, I thought I heard something rattling inside. You will then take your 4 really small screws that you had before that you placed on your keyboard so you know where they go. You place those back in the 4 holes located here, 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 and there. These are tough to get in because they are so small, and I need the bigger screwdriver for this. I remember. Makes it easier. Okay. So plop those 4 screws in. Doesn't matter which order, they are all the same size. Do not fall. You do not want these screws to get stuck under the bezel, because they can get stuck, and 2, they're a pain in the ass to A, get out, and B, to find if you can't find them right away, because of the fact that they are so small. So screw those in. If I can, I will screw them in. There we go. Get that all set, and then you can move on to the keyboard. Again, you need to place the ribbon wire in first. If you don't place the ribbon wire in, your keyboard will not work. So take this, put it into there. It's hard to slide it in. Once it's in, clamp it down, and it should stay. Next, you want to take the keyboard. There are little things right here, little tabs. And take those, slide them in backwards, and then go around the edges and just press down, because those tabs will just lock into place, and you're all set. Keyboard is nice and back together. Next, you're going to close the top, flip it back over, and you're going to start and see, here are your wireless antennas, and you're going to put in all these screws. Remembering these small flat screws go 4 right here, and then 1 single one right here. So don't put a regular one in those 4 places. So like I did before, I will either cut or speed it up once I have all the screws back in place and put on the rubber feet again. Alright, so once you have all the screws back in place, you will put in the DVD drive, optical drive. Just slide that right back in. Might have to give it a little push, a little shove. Take that screw that you put on top of the optical drive so you know it's for the optical drive. Put that in the hole it's supposed to go into. Take the network card. Plop this right back into space. Take the 2 screws. Screw those 2 screws in so it stays down. Get those in, and then put the antennas back into place. It should be pretty obvious which ones to wear, but white and black. The black is longer than the white, so it's obvious to tell which one goes where. Next, just plop the RAM right back in. Plop. Oh. Come on, lift up. Let me get you. Okay. Push it in. Plop it down. Take the hard drive. Slot this thing back in. Remembering to plug it back in while you're at it. Plug that back in, and then you are all set. You take this. You plug. Oh, wrong way. You plug this back down into here, and you tighten up these screws. That one. And this one right here, and then you put this back on, last cover back on, turn around, and you get these 2 screws right in front. Tighten those on up, and once you are done with that, put the battery back on, flip it over, and voila, it will turn on. There you go, it's all set. I'll just let boot up into Windows. Originally this had Windows 7. I upgraded it to Windows 8, and there you go, it's all set. Got my picture unlock, and yeah, so thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped out a lot more people, because a lot more people were asking in the other video to how do you take it apart down to the motherboard, stuff like that, and I finally had a reason to do so. So here's the video. I hope it helped out a lot of people, because the other video has helped out many people, and hope this helps out even more. So thank you for watching, guys, and have a nice day.